Hello, you're with us on the Apps, a very special On the Apps episode. It's just me and Julian, all alone.
That's right. We have no guests, no friends. We run out of people who would do this with us. No. We put a vote in our Instagram and said, do you want to do it just with us too? And you all said yes, which was very flattering.
Very flattering.
I really thought you wanted, I thought it was just me, no Robin, to start with. And it turned out it was, they wanted you as well, which is very, I said, this Robin?
This one?
The smelly one? And they said, we can't smell through the thing. I was like, be grateful.
Yeah, they can't smell.
But they wanted us. So now I think they want to talk about dating stories and how we live. And we can do it.
We can do it.
It's a little nerve-wracking to have to hang out with you for 30 minutes straight.
I know, alone with nobody between us.
That makes it sound sexual for some reason. I'll have sex with them, but we need a man between, or woman. We need a man between us, and that's how we Eiffel Tower. It's me on one side, Robin on the other, and a drifter in the middle who needs a place to stay.
High five.
No. Yeah, oh yeah, sorry.
That's our Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, that's how long it lasts too. Yeah, you meant to put two hands over. I mean,
and then are you high-fiving the whole time?
Yeah, I think it's continuous high five. But it's like not clapping cheeks, just doing this.
Just holding hands?
Just like this one.
Oh, you're just holding, yeah.
Just like this.
And looking at each other.
I will always love you.
That's
Sorry,
beautiful.
I know. I'll fix it in post. I'll just put whoever sings that over the top of it.
It's Whitney Houston. Or Dolly Parton.
Really?
Yeah, she's the one who wrote it.
Dolly Parton did?
Yeah.
No, that's actually untrue. It's written by Eminem, fun fact.
Interesting.
And Dolly Parton wrote Mum Spaghetti.
Mom Spaghetti.
The original title of 8 Mile was Mum Spaghetti. No, the original title was 1 Mile, then 2 Mile, and then after 8 agonizing editions, they got to Mum Spaghetti.
They got finally to Mom Spaghetti.
Okay, let's have a chat. We wrote some things down for this. Should we look? Maybe we should look at each other. Normally we have a guest, but we should act like we're a couple. We should act like we love each other.
No thanks.
We mostly love each other. The only time we ever fight is when I took Robin. I wear scrunchies, and I took Robin's scrunchie. I
have one scrunchie. I mean, I have many scrunchies, but I wear the same scrunchie every single day because it has the right tensile strength for my specific hair.
Yeah, and I do have a question, so I'm just going to look this up here, see if Google can help me out. And who purchased that scrunchie, and for whom did they purchase it for?
Julian bought the scrunchie for the house.
For the house? I didn't buy a house scrunchie.
It's a house scrunchie. We have so many scrunchies.
If it's a house scrunchie, then why can't I have it?
And Julian, because I claimed it, and Julian just leaves them all over the house. There are every day I could pick up at least one scrunchie, usually 2.
Brag.
Just on the ground.
Okay, here's the thing.
Random scrunchie. It's never my scrunchie because it's either in my hair or on my wrist.
Okay, well, one time I took it, and probably the only time Robin's ever pretty much yelled at me.
I didn't yell at him. It was a strongly worded text.
Strongly worded
and a
text.
picture of me mooning him.
No, she didn't. Don't lighten it, okay? And no sexy mooning.
It wasn't sexy. It was an angry moon.
It was an angry moon. It was a dark moon, my friend. It was a full moon.
No, the thing was that I had taken it off to take a shower, which is the only time that I removed this scrunchie.
And that happens once or twice a year. So one of the few opportunities, like Ocean's 11, I can get in there and try and steal this thing.
I don't like water.
Or sand. Go on.
Or you. No, just kidding. I love you very much.
I can cut all this out. It's just going to be you making fart noises out of your mouth.
So I got out of the shower, and then I thought it must have fallen down. It was gone. Where could it have gone? I left it in one spot. But we have cats. I could have not been paying attention. Maybe put it down somewhere else. And so I searched the house high and low, and lo and behold,
mostly low.
I am a very tall woman, and then finally, and I thought, and this was after I had said, and I know it's insane, but we had already talked about the scrunchie, because I was like, listen, this scrunchie means a lot to me. It's the only one that works on my very thick hair, that's also heavy, so it needs to be, I need to be able to wrap it around 3 times exactly, and it still be tight, but loose enough for me to still be able to get it out. And I found the one scrunchie in the house.
It sounded very sexual. Briefly, sorry, if you cut into that moment, Robin is not talking about
it.
Anyway.
Needs to be tight enough.
I want to wrap it around 3 times.
I need to be able to feel it, okay? And I thought for sure he wouldn't have taken it because we had just talked about this scrunchie and I was like, I know it's an insane thing. I know it's insane. When we talked about it, when I was like, this is my scrunchie. This is the only scrunchie I like. And then it feels like the very next day, it was probably a little longer than that, but it feels like the very next day you then just absentmindedly grabbed the closest scrunchie to you, which I had just put on the counter because I was in the shower. And
to be clear,
just went
my
to
mind
work.
has never been absent. 100% attendance record for my mind. That's a fact. I did take it absentmindedly. It was a mistake. I thought it was maybe... Literally, it's just so funny. That is probably the second biggest fight we've ever had. And it was about a scrunchie. The first one was when I fucked her dad.
It wasn't a fight, though. It was just like, did you take the scrunchie? And then he said, oh, yeah, sorry. And I sent a long text just being like, this is an important scrunchie to me. I know it's crazy, but I looked everywhere for that scrunchie, and I thought I was crazy, and I wasted all this time looking for a scrunchie that my husband just stole.
Let me just contextualize this for you. There was one time when I came back from the airport after being on, basically, I think it was a bachelor party for like a week. It was like a long trip with friends. Yeah, get that hair off there. That's weird. It's one of mine. And then I came back, and I had a date planned that night, which I just happened to be planned that way. And then my flight was 2 hours delayed. So instead of being able to come back and relax and then go on the date, I had to rush into the house, quickly throw my bag down. I jumped in the shower, and then I used the toilet. I did a number 2 in there, and it clogged real bad. And then Robin goes, "The toilet? You just clogged the toilet?" I go, "Yeah, I got to run to this date. I can't fix it in time." And I just left. I left a clogged toilet for my wife to deal with while I went on a date with another woman. And Robin wasn't mad. And then 2.5 years later, I took her scrunchie, and she was like, "We need to go to couples therapy."
Okay, well, I hadn't told you the day before not to clog the toilet, did I?
I get you a daily memo. Anyway, the scrunchie is not an important or interesting story. I just thought it was funny. Here's what we're going to talk about. We did some research, which we rarely do. We're going to talk about what we think some hot takes about dating in general, and what are green flags. What is a green flag? I'm kidding.
Okay, so I picked 2 hot takes, and one is about dating and one is about a long-term relationship. I'm going to do the one about dating first, okay?
I approve.
Dates should be cheap. They should be really cheap.
Oh, baby. You're speaking my language. We split a 99-cent slice, and then I give you the worst dick you've ever had in your life.
I think that is what the kinds of dates that you do are.
99-cent pizza, 45-cent dick. Hey-oh, keep the change, you filthy animal.
Like walking a coffee, walking a lemonade, maybe you just meet on a sidewalk. You just meet 50-50 right between your homes.
Here's a tip. Go on Google Maps. If it's in the middle
ask for his address.
If it's in the middle of the water, fun, beach date. Pack a snack. I think everyone's going to agree with you on this. Well, some women won't. I agree. Dating should not be something that it should be there. And also, you've told me this, and I have a story about this in a second, but you do some really fancy dinner date, and then you're stuck in dinner with this loser who you don't even like.
For so long.
But the problem is, would you agree, there are plenty of women who look at dating differently, right? Mm-hmm, and they're just like, 2 things. Number one, they think, I want a good free meal. Like, I want to get something out of this.
Sure.
Which is whatever. But for me, I'm just like, I would eat the worst food in the world to avoid having a shit 90 minutes of my time with someone. Secondly, a lot of them think it's very disrespectful to be asked on a thing. And I don't know if I can pull it up now, but on my phone I've taken screenshots of multiple Hinge prompts where they say, "Don't message me if you think you want to go out for drinks or a walk."
Like they want to go on dinner. I know that is a thing. I used to hold that belief. Like it was dinner or nothing. I'm a beautiful woman in my 20s. So 2 decades ago.
No, not 2 full decades ago, but it is getting close.
A long time
a decade and
ago,
not quite a score, but it's getting there. Abraham Lincoln once said, 1 score ago, almost.
I used to hold those views, and I think that they are outdated. When I was believing that was pre-dating apps, and also I think it maybe in another place, like. If I didn't live in New York City, I would probably think the other way. I would probably think, no, you know what, let's go have dinner, let's sit down, let's meet each other. But these are small dating markets where you're not like on to the next one, on to the next one.
I also think, I don't know about these places, but like if really small places, you're going to like an Olive Garden, aren't you? You're going not an Olive Garden, but you're going somewhere that's cheaper by nature. Mm-hmm. New York, you can rack up a bill just walking outside. Yeah. And also you have other dates, so like you can't be
Yeah. I think before I moved to New York, where I was dating was Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska, which is a small place. Everybody like in your age group or within 15 years, actually, if they're single and don't have kids, maybe even if they do have kids, they know each other. So it's like if you go home with somebody after they took you to like some shit dive bar, you might get a reputation or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
This girl's a cheap lay.
Listen, I'm old. Yeah. And it's a small town. So I can understand like where that mentality comes from, where like you want to be, because it's not, you're not dating in private. You're dating in a small town where people will know but it's so funny
how much perception. Who said it this other day? Was it Maggie on the other episode where she mentioned like I don't know if it's you, but she said this idea that men care more about how their friends think how hot their girlfriend is, right? And I do think so much, and women, I think, to me, the equivalent sometimes is like, they might want to fuck a guy on the first date. They might want to just meet up but they're like, what will people think? And a good job, men, by making a slut-shaming frickin' society where women want to fuck you and they're like, well, I can't because of what people like you would say.
Yeah.
We need to just form a union and be like, guys, we've got to stop slut-shaming and start slut-aggrandizing.
Yeah. So maybe pick the best slut every year, give her a cash prize. Cash prize, biggest slut in New York. We should have biggest slut in New York competition, cash prize.
I'm trying to think. I was going to say who would win, but it's not you anymore.
No,
I think you're out of the game.
It's not me. Yeah, I'm really out of the game.
Belly chain Robin would have had a chance. When we first met, Robin was in her hoe phase. She wore a belly chain everywhere and nothing else. No, she had other clothes, I'm sure. And then she literally hung up the belly chain as if it was like...
No, I just grew out of it.
Not literally.
I literally did grow out of it.
It went from a belly chain to what looked like some sort of restrictive, like a chain, like a ball and chain.
Like a ball and I just wear a bike chain.
We actually... thick bike chain.
Thick bike chain with a big U-lock.
How'd you get out of that, by the way? 'Cause that's... We actually hung the belly chain up. We retired it like a jersey. It's sitting there. She had a great couple of seasons. Plenty of assists, plenty of points, plenty of scores. Shots on goal, absolutely.
We hung it up in our arena.
In our arena, the bedroom. This is where the magic show happens.
A literal magic show, pulling rabbits out of hats.
Yeah, we're into weird shit.
Hot.
But you mentioned dinner thing. I was on a date the other week. And I'll see if I pull up the... yeah, well, I know, right? We went to the most expensive restaurant in town.
No, you didn't.
No, we didn't. Went to a dive bar. But we did actually go get food. And it was funny because I messaged her based on something you've said. Because one thing I have learned about dating women is that they want... Because they want the guy to take the lead, which is fine. But if you're going to take the lead, you have to remove any uncertainty. You don't want the girl to be like, well, I don't know if I'm having dinner. What am I wearing? Like, I want to be clear. So I said, let's go meet at this bar. And I said 7 p.m. because that made sense with the timeline I had. I think I had a show afterwards or something. And then I said... Sorry, am I on your way?
No, I'm just stretching my leg.
And then I said, go to this bar. And it was like 7 p.m., but I didn't want to do the whole dinner thing. I thought maybe she didn't want to either. So I said, hey, let's get drinks, but maybe have dinner beforehand because I don't really want to have dinner there. And I didn't say it in a mean way. I just said, yeah, but let's not have dinner.
You're like, feed yourself.
But I was not trying to be a dick. But I realized now maybe it sounded that way. But I wanted her to be like, no, because she's just going to leave work. She can plan to do ahead. And then she just says, why? We went on the date. She's very nice. She's very chill. But my point is, and she was just a very blunt text when she said that early on. But it really rattled me, rattled my cage. I was like, I think it'd be better if we just want to have dinner, we'll just do drinks. And she goes, why? And I was like, jeez, I goofed. And I told her, I said, look, some girls feel like, you also do want to save some money, which would be nice. But I was like, yeah, some girls don't want that. And it's like, drinks are less pressure. She's like, no, I'm happy with it. And she was like, but if I don't eat, and I drink, I'll get drunk, and I'd rather just do this. And I was like, sure, we can absolutely eat. That's not a problem. But it was funny when she said why. But anyway, I don't know if she had that opinion, but it was like she thought, I don't know, she wanted dinner. I don't know what the point of that story was. You said something.
No, I think it's good that she communicated that, and... yeah. No.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I didn't go on the date, obviously. What a crazy bitch. No, she was great.
No, you went.
I did go. But yeah, no, it was just a random bar. It was pretty easy. Okay, that brings me to the next question. I know we're on green.
Yeah, we're doing green flag.
You're right. So I had a question about that. But go do.
Oh, you want to do a question? Go ahead.
No, this will actually fall under hot take or green flag. So you do your next. So you've said first and foremost they should be cheap. How do you ask someone out on a cheap date and not look like a jerk?
What do you mean?
As in, I'd be like, because if I say, hey, let's go, I guess walk, but it sounds...
Yeah, and like, we want to go to... And if they're like, oh, I'm not really into that, and be like, oh, I just, for me, I just enjoy... I want to get to know you. I want to talk to you. And it's
but are you saying, it's funny you say you want a cheap date because you're not the one paying. So it's not really about the payment for you, it's just like the pressure.
Yeah, there's like, and the other thing too is that I truly believe if you never want to see this person again, you should try to pay for yourself. Like, you should really, really try to pay for yourself.
Do you think because it's the right thing to do, or because you don't want to leave false impressions?
Yeah, don't want to leave false impressions. You don't want to like open a door for somebody to have some sort of like angry reaction to the inevitable
I paid for dinner,
text.
you bitch.
Yeah, I don't need that. Especially like I would rather pay for it than have to worry about, is this going to be a thing? Because I know I never want to see you again.
Well, there is that classic joke, which is like, you go on a date and you're like, I'll pay, and she's like, let's split it. It means like we're done.
I mean, there's also like, that's how I would like to be treated. So I feel like might as well you should do that. Like if a guy never wanted to see me again and I was offering to pay, I would want him to be like, no, I'll pay for it. Let's split it.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
But it's annoying because it's all about the fact that we're not willing to communicate clearly. Because you say, because I'll be like, oh, I'll pay. And she's like, of course, most women will be like, oh, not most, but plenty will be like, oh, no, I'll pay. And it's literally a fake gesture.
Yeah.
And which means they actually do like me, and maybe they want to hook up with me, maybe they want to see me again. Mm-hmm. But they're just like, and then, so I might be like, oh, wait, no, I'll pay. And if she offers too many times, I'm like, oh, maybe she doesn't like me. As opposed to being like, oh, no, I like you. Mm-hmm. I just was being nice. I want you to pay and I want to see you again.
Yeah. Well, and it could, I'm saying this, and I don't think anybody should take a woman offering to pay half as a sign that she doesn't want to see you again, because I would offer anyway.
But I think you would offer once.
Yeah, I would offer it once. No, I mean, I would offer. I'd offer sincerely.
But if you told me once. Luckily, I caught you in my dating arc of New York, because when I first got here in Australia, you really will split the drinks. Mm-hmm, like I'll get the first round, she'll get the second round. I mean, you can pay, but it's guaranteed, except expected. I on our first date happened to have been on enough dates prior to then, even though I hadn't been here that long. That I knew, and then later on you told me that you might have things that might have gone different if I just immediately was like, let's split.
Yeah, it does. Like when a guy automatically suggests that we split, to me it just feels like very unchivalrous and like unmanly. These are old timey values, but that's like how it.
If he doesn't have a pocket watch, walk away, sister.
Walk away. Yeah, no, the gut instinct is like, oh, he's not that into me. And if he is into me, he's not a very, like, he doesn't want to, be nice to me. He doesn't want to treat me.
Well, this girl on this date, I was like, oh, I explained why. She's like, okay. She's like, I get it, but I just don't really want it. She said a similar thing. I don't want to go on a date with someone who, doesn't want to think of that at all.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think a lot of guys, it's like this weird push and pull, because it's like being generous is really nice, but you don't want to be taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. And I think it's one of those things that girls like, no, I want to have a date and I like you for doing this, but I feel good when you pay for me. And the guy's like, oh, I feel good paying for you, if you want it. And the worst case scenario is feeling like you're getting taken advantage of. And in that case, I think the way society normally does it is that you offer and then I say, no, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. And I get to be the hero who pays.
The hero.
We're looking for the 99-cent slice. Mm-hmm. All right, well, here's what I'm going to do moving forward. It's a little challenge for next podcast. I might, if I'm on dating apps, I will suggest a couple of cheap dates. Okay. And then we can monitor how they go.
All right.
Because obvious cheap date, easiest one, I'll just be like, hey, why don't you come to my house and have sex with me? Straight away, and I say, hey, and I will not be providing water.
Water's free.
And you can, no, I'm paying the water bill, baby. That shit ain't cheap.
Are we? There's no water bill here.
I guess not.
He's full of it.
Fine, but
ladies, the water is free.
But she better not drink any of the electricity, I'll tell you that much. That's my electricity. I'll keep track. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. But I would do the walk or something. But I also, I don't like walking. I would rather the other problem as well is for a lot of guys, and me especially, is
dunk contest.
If I lose to another woman, I won't be able to perform afterwards.
That's the excuse.
That's the excuse. Sorry, honey. Whenever I can't get it up, which is often, I tell Robin I just lost a dunk contest.
I just lost a dunk competition.
To a couple of youths at the street court. They were so fast, Robin. They took my mojo.
I don't think being fast is very important to a dunk competition.
Well, clearly I don't know how to do it, Robin, okay? All right, should I do a green flag?
Yeah, or a hot take.
Hot take, okay. Okay, yeah. And I know all these words. Okay, I have a ruder one to start, but I'll do the medium one first. I've learned this, and there's so many things I disagree with, but I just do it anyway in dating because it's what's expected. The biggest tip I would give any guy dating is always message the girl on the morning of to confirm the date. Because if you don't, they get very upset. And I get that, and I play ball, but like, the women I know, the vitriolic response they have, like the demonization, like they could have the nicest guy in the world. If he doesn't confirm the date, they're like, what a piece of, like, they're like, and then I'm sitting there with Pep, when a girl I used to work with, and she'd be looking at her phone, she's like, 10 a.m., has it confirmed?
Because it is a little stressful, because you're like, because so many people cancel dates.
Yes.
It's so common. So if you're waking up and you want to be able to plan your day. I understand the vitriol, because for me, being able to plan ahead is like very important.
I agree, but I have something that's going to blow your mind.
Okay, go.
This is going to change. This is something, I've been cooking this up in the lab with a couple of boys.
Okay.
I have discovered that it is possible for a woman to confirm the date via text.
Oh, yeah.
And so my point is, by all means, like, I get that I do think it's better, and as a guy, I send it, and they always like it. And I say that I'm going to send you the text. I even do the heads up. I go, I'll text you on the morning of. That way they're not waiting a few days before. So it's an easy, smart thing to do, but more like the response when women say that, and it'll come be like 3 or 4 p.m., and then he'll confirm, and she'll go, well, I've made other plans. And she hasn't made other plans. She's just mad.
Oh, interesting.
And I get being able to plan your day, and you want it locked in. And part of in dating as you get older is it's less about playing games and like, listen, I got shit on.
Yeah.
So I'm not even trying to play. I'm not trying to play hard to get.
No.
And I'll do things where I message girls now, and I think I come off needy sometimes. But they'll be like, let's do a date, and I'm like, okay, and let's meet up next week. I'm like, how about the 18th? 7 p.m. And I'm not doing that because I'm just like, I got a calendar, I got shows, I want to lock it in. Yeah. So a lot of it is about insecure, so I get that. But it's more like when the girl is really upset, I'm like, you could have messaged him. And they have like the emotional response to it. They're so disrespected by the lack of confirmation.
Interesting. No, yeah, you're right. They could confirm. Because that would take a lot of the stress out of it.
Yeah, I just text them at 9, and I've gotten those texts from girls, and I'm like, great, I forgot to send it, or like, I didn't send it in time, and I'm like, yes, we're definitely still on.
Yeah.
But if you were to send that confirmation text at 9 a.m. and you didn't get a response by 10:30, 11, I think you are within your rights to be like, well, I got shit on.
10:30, 11? I guess. Yeah.
But if you're meeting at 6, it depends. But I'll tell you what would happen. If I got a text, and if I actually had a real thing I was planning, I would text me like, hey, I need a confirmation because my friends are doing something at 5 and I need to know what's happening. Although that reminds me of a friend told me this thing he does in dating to keep women wanting more is he always plans something after the date so he can't even hook up with them. So like they'll be 90 minutes into the date or whatever a normal reasonable amount of time is.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, so I'm meeting up with some friends, but I'd love to see you again. And he said it was very effective because what the other alternative, which I do sometimes, you're on a date and frankly you want to...
You don't know how to end it.
We don't know how to end it, which you know is a problem of mine.
Or you don't know how to...
Close.
You don't have
But even trying to get him to the place is really hard because they're like, well, they feel disrespected. Not disrespected, but like... They only wants me for sex or this. And if you go, I'm actually... And I've done that once by accident. And the girl was shook. Because like, I don't know if she knew what was going to happen. Or oftentimes like the woman has already decided...
that you were going to go.
No. Oh, no, I had. I did tell her, but I think she thought that was a fake out. I think I was like, I might have plans later on. And then I did tell her. And I think, I wasn't even trying to be a dick. I think I just wasn't loving the date. But it was kind of funny because a lot of women, I think in their mind, in their head, they're like, I like this guy. They've already decided. They're wearing matching underwear. You know what I mean? They're already thinking like, I'm ready for sex. And when I'm like, they're like, oh. And I told her that and I was like, oh. I told her I'd be leaving. She's like, oh, no, you did. And she kind of had this listless, she was like,
where do I?
what do I do?
How do I get out of here?
I didn't leave her in the desert. It was train station adjacent.
She's like what is it? An NPC?
Yeah.
She's just like.
She goes, I have a mission for you. You got to help me find my goats. Anyway, so that was my hot take, which is just like don't be so affected by it. Just send the text to the guy. It's not disrespectful. But if you don't like it because you think the guy's a dead shit, that's fine. And if you don't want to be with someone who's like annoying, I know women like men to be competent, which is fine. And if you think it's just going to be frustrating to date him, but if you liked him before and you think he's fun, I think you can just text first and be like, hey, is this happening or not?
Yeah. I think women should text first more. I also like. Okay, I had a different hot take, but I'm going to do this one instead. I think double texting is not. I don't give a shit about double texting.
Oh yeah. I think we've discussed that on this before with Liam, and it's so true. It's like
just double text.
Because I get that with close friends. They text me and like I just forget to respond. It's like something important.
Yeah.
And then I don't text them for like a few days and like, hey, we're still doing that. I'm like, thank you for sending that message again.
Thank you.
And also, and this is the other thing that's annoying, people who complain about double text as being too needy and too pushy. It's like if you don't like the guy, tell him.
Yeah.
Like the double text happens because you left him in limbo, and that is something you wouldn't like. And when women get ghosted, they're like, this guy wouldn't, and it's like, well, you're doing the same. Like, it sucks. I do think, though, like, someone sends me a text and it's kind of, like, inconclusive. I think it's okay. If they ask a question, whatever, you can stop and just be like, okay, we're going to let this fizzle out. They send the second text, you got to...
Yeah, then you have to put them out of their misery.
Yeah.
Or not, but, I mean, you just communicate. Because it is just that, because that's what you would want, or that's what I would want.
Yeah.
I would want somebody to be like, oh, yeah, thank you so much, I just didn't feel a spark.
But everyone has this bias where... they say, oh, this guy ghosted me, he's a piece of shit. And I'll be like, what about that guy that you didn't message? And she's like, well, that wasn't ghosting, that was a natural end.
Yeah.
And it's like, the ghostee always feels like it was ghosting. And the ghoster always feels like, no, that was just a natural time to end it.
Yeah. I mean, because yes. Because you don't care if you've ghosted them. Or if there's a mutual ghosting, I'm sure they wouldn't care.
Yeah.
They wouldn't notice.
Well, I told you that story with my old roommate who hooked up with a girl on a first date. And then they left, and again, I think when you meet someone in person, the text resets. Like the whoever's responsibility is to text kind of resets.
Yeah. Oh, there's no like you're the last person to text, so now I have to.
Because like if the last text I sent was like, "Hey, I'm out front."
Oh, the idea of that is so. It makes me tired thinking about that.
Yeah,
then
exactly.
It's like now it's your turn to text. Oh, I hate that.
I know.
Just hate that. No, nobody's gonna tell me when I can and cannot text.
I'll text you 45 times in a row.
I'm gonna text my exes right now, all of them. I'll text them 4 times in a row.
Is the prison still open? They get phones in there? I don't even get that joke. Did you date a prisoner? I don't know.
Not that I know of.
not that you know of. You sent them into an asylum. But what was I saying? Texting. Yeah. And then she left, and then he didn't text her for a week. It was a busy week. And then she sent him like the most like pages of texts, like an insane amount of written by hand, like. Because she typed it on her phone, and it was essays of what a piece of shit he was and how he could disrespect her and ghosted her and this. And he was like, well, none of us have texted each other. Like, you didn't text me.
Mm-hmm.
But
except
anyway.
Until this,
and I got to be honest, I don't love it.
It's not fun. This is not fun.
All right. Do I have another hot take? I just stole yours because you backed up. Do you have another one you want to do? The initial?
Yeah, fine. Another hot take. I think I only believe this because I read so much Reddit. If your significant other's family or friends are mean to you and they don't do anything about it, or just if they're mean to you and they can't control that, if that can't be nipped in the bud like immediately, just leave. There is no amount of nothing makes that hassle worthwhile.
Well, yeah, but it's two things. Number one, them not defending you sucks. Number two, it's never going to get better. It's also just such a garbage situation. Like, it's so uncomfortable. And if you were to live through that...
There are just so many people in the world. You could just be alone, and that would be better.
Seriously.
Oh, that would be awful.
And it's such an awkward situation when you're in... it's friends, it's family, anywhere where you're not there. And, like, you do feel so uncomfortable and so awkward. And it's funny because I get so used to being comfortable in my life because I have my friends, I have my groups, I have this I go to. And when every now and then you're outside of that, you're like, this is really bad. I really don't like this. I'll get through it and it's fun or whatever. And then for that to be compounded on, infuriating. They have to defend you, especially if they're too weak to do it.
Yeah. And it like uncovers some weird family dynamic where like your significant other is like not actually an adult.
I mean, the flip, again, you're talking about Reddit. I think we've both read similar stories where sometimes I do think like the family is fair enough and the partner's crazy.
Yeah.
In which case, same thing. Break up.
Same thing. Get out of there.
Get them out of it. Because and it's all about like, the intention you're putting behind it, And I have seen things, where like the mum comes in and from the get-go she's mad at the daughter-in-law or whatever, and it didn't do anything wrong. But other times there are things I've heard of where like, and it would be hard to flip it gender-wise, is like if your son is dating someone who is like tearing them away from the family and doesn't want you to ever see them and wants to move them away, you'd be like, well, move away. That's what you did.
I did do that, but I'm the one who's trying to move back to Australia, so.
That's true. So advantage. Robin.
Yeah.
But yeah, meanest thing, that would be terrible. But that's a more general thing. It's like too many people stay in relationships when there's no kids. Even marriage is.
Yeah, people they're like, why don't we just keep going? Let's just keep commingling our stuff.
And it's more just like they just are so, and I've certainly done this.
Harder to extricate yourself.
I'm a card-carrying worm.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm actually leader of the worms.
We know this
which
about
means
you.
you can't actually be leader of the worms because they elect the best leader, then he's no longer a worm. If you can lead, you're not a worm. But it's not even like you don't even want to be with them. And to me, the test is so simple. Where you should break up with someone is if you're thinking to yourself like, God, I hope they cheat, and that's true worm. I have had times in the past where I'm like, God, life would be so easy if I just caught her cheating. And then I could kick her out and I'm the hero and she's the baddie.
That's the most insane thing I've ever heard.
Let me tell you something. That is on the back of the Legion of Worms t-shirts.
The only thing I've ever felt even like remotely close to that is like a job that you hate. And you're like, I can't afford to quit this job.
But if I got fired, I would deal with it.
No, it's not even get fired. You're just like, it's like I hope I get hit by a bus.
I did have the time.
I just like really hope I just like break a leg.
It is, and it's so bad because you could, and sometimes it's not even because like you need the money or you obviously need it, but like you could figure it out. You're just like stuck in a rut. When I was at a job doing this project, and the job was great, but it's just weird client-based work, and this one client I was working with, it was like the worst, most stressed I've ever been. I had to do this website building. I was waking up at 2 a.m. to have calls with India all the time, and that's all I can deal with work.
He just hates Indians.
I love this Indian. No, all Indians. This Indian was great. Let me tell you a fact. You know an Indian for more than 3 minutes, they will invite you to their wedding. That is a fun fact. He invited me to his wedding, and I was like, I really appreciate it, but I hate this project so much. He was very nice though, but I hated it. And there was literally a time I was like, I kind of hope there's some sort of terrorist attack, and I get to just run in and either save the day or die. But if that happened right now and there was like a gunman take over a building, I would just walk and be like,
I just walk in. You're like, roll the dice.
Make my day, terrorist. Make my day.
It's this or I go to work.
Yeah, make my day. And that's when you look at yourself like, ooh, I gotta make some changes. Anyway, that was the point
but
of where...
I can't even imagine doing that about a relationship.
Well, she had a gun. No, she didn't.
Maybe I do think relationships are just too expendable.
Great to hear, by the way.
Because I often do find myself like on this side of the conversation, just looking at everybody else, being like, "What are you doing?"
Well, the flip side of that is like what used to happen back in the day is like you met at some church thing, you barely knew the guy, but he had a good steel job, and then you just stayed with him and it was fine.
Well, also, if you didn't stay with him, then you would have to be alone in the whatever time it was, like when women couldn't have jobs or women couldn't get paid as. I mean, and I'm not saying that there aren't these like economic things that keep people together now. Like obviously, the cost of living is astronomical, and I think there are a lot of people who date for rent. But just I don't know, if you don't live together, if you don't there's. I don't know why people give each other so many chances. I could see giving people chances to be friends but they're like, the more you fuck up, the more you're like a side friend.
Yeah, because you don't break up with friends, which is a shame. Yeah, you just phase them out. You put them down in tears.
Like number one person in your life who's like a pain in your ass. I just do not understand it at all. Dump them. Just dump them.
Yeah, it is 100%. But to your point about me being a worm, and I've learned from those things, you're just like, you don't want to, you feel like you're a bad guy, you don't want to have the conversation. But it's funny you couldn't relate to that, which is okay, but I've had this discussion with mostly men, but maybe I don't know if I've asked any women about it. And they've been like, oh yeah. Like, me and the fellow worms have been like, yeah, I've had times and I've really, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a male thing or just because I've only asked men about it, but that it's like, it would just be easier.
So a lot of guys are just going around wishing that their girlfriends would cheat on them so that they could then break up with them in a way that they don't feel bad about.
Yes.
What?
But again, it's a small data set, just me.
You know what you could do? So this is one thing that I used to do when I was younger and I had worm-like tendencies and didn't know how to like communicate this stuff. You be the one that cheats. And then they leave you.
Okay, I got a couple of things. Robin thinks she just split the atom. She does. Here's the problem. You may have missed. I want to be the good guy in this scenario, and if I cheat, I'm the bad guy.
According to who?
I mean, come on, most people.
Give me an award, guys. I cheated on so many of my boyfriends.
Yeah, that's why
instead of breaking up with them because I was like, I don't know how.
Yeah,
I feel like this conversation is gonna be real awkward.
And did you get caught cheating?
No.
So you still had to break up with him in the end?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So you
No,
didn't.
you're right.
You just cheated for fun.
Yeah.
I want you to know.
I'm a hero.
I want you to know. We're coming into this
Just
openness thing for different reasons. I have never cheated. And nor in a board game, which is more important, I think, than fidelity. And I wanted to be open because I think it's the right thing to do. You want to be open because you enjoy it, but I was like, you cheat anyway.
No.
You were always the villain of this podcast.
I didn't cheat on my last boyfriend, and that was a very, very long relationship. That was like an 8-year-long relationship.
So recent track record is good. I love the consistent thing of you being the villain. I think that's what this podcast story is going to be.
I like it. Yeah, I feel like I'm in the right, even though what I'm saying makes people.
Yeah. So what you're describing is villain mentality.
I am Larry David.
No,
Yes,
you
I am.
you don't know. You're Thanos.
Yes, I am.
You're Thanos.
I don't know who that is, but he sounds very Larry David-esque, so I agree.
I don't think Thanos is Larry David-esque.
Yeah.
Larry David is. You know what? You don't get to be an anti-hero.
I'm right.
You're just
I'm
an
right.
anti.
Just cheat. No, just kidding.
Larry David might say that.
Okay. Well, then we got green flags, right? My green flag, and I think this could have been a hot take.
Say fidelity right now.
My green flag, though, what deciding to be open was one of those things. Because towards the end of my relationship, when I was like, I gotta get out of this relationship, I did want to cheat, and I was like, don't do that. That's the wrong way to do it. You know better by now. You old so and so. You better not do that.
I bet his thought was fleeting at best.
But then I did not cheat, though I could have. I did not. Because I'm a good woman. No. And then, but then it was one of those things that I thought to myself, I'm like, I just don't know that I actually am like cut out for it. Because for monogamy. Yeah. Because I'd never been in a relationship where I didn't want to cheat.
Well, that's the argument I always make to everyone else. Is like, I mean, about cheating or not, whether you can keep a commitment or whether you can't. But it's like I've never been in a relationship that was where I've not had sexual attraction to other people.
Yeah, that's never happened.
And I've only not done it because you know what it is. I like to think I'm a good person. I think I'm just a worm who's afraid of getting caught. I think.
What would happen if you got caught cheating?
I would feel bad.
And what's so wrong with that?
Oh, sorry, you don't have one of these things. I have a thing called a soul.
But how long will you feel bad for? Like,
I get what you're saying, but the problem is like as good as like sex is, it's like the guilt. I mean, sex is fleeting and quick, and like if I like the idea of like I think having I think when you were cheating on people, you wanted the relationship to end. Like
yeah, but I mean, I didn't feel good about it. But it was just like.
But I'm saying if you really love someone and you cheated on them, knowing that the relationship could end, like I think that, and like when it's so funny. I mean, it's just so funny with monogamy. Is like when people cheat and they're like, "Oh no, I blew it." I'm like, "You knew? What do you mean?
Yeah,
you knew that going in." It's crazy to cheat and then be like sad about it. You know what I mean? But if you cheat because you're already unhappy with a relationship, I still think that's a scumbag move.
Yeah.
But it's not like a dumb move. But my point about you saying like feeling bad and throwing away a relationship you're really happy with is so much more magnitude in the negative than whatever positive I mean, it would have to be such a insane, and like, as you've said, it'll be a one-night stand by definition if it's cheating. I mean, it could continue, but the first one certainly is one night, and that's going to be average sex, especially for a woman who like he's not going to know what he's doing. Although, I'm going to change it. That brings me to my hot take.
Ooh.
About you saying often men are bad at the first night in bed. Here's my hot take. Okay, you ready for this? Find your own damn clit. Why are you bringing in outside resource? Why are you bringing in consultants you've been working in the industry for 40 years. And look, obviously, I will do my best. I'll put on my hard hat, and like I can find it. I'm not completely dumb. It's the lower back, but it's where's your clit? I don't know. Where'd you leave it? I'm not a mind reader, Robin. But that's more of a general idea of like. Have some ownership of like I'm going to ask for what I want. I'm going to get for what I want. And if a guy doesn't give it to you and is unwilling to try and is just a piece of shit, give him my scrunchie. And then that's one thing. But when I hear women have genuine complaints, and it is lessening, I found of late. This was a very hot topic like 5-10 years ago. But when someone's like, oh, he couldn't do this, we didn't know this, and it's like you didn't communicate any of it. And like you can just be like, this is what I like, this is what I don't. Too hard, too soft. And if someone's unwilling to listen, I totally get that. But you can communicate. And too much of the onus, and I get some men are very lazy in bed, but too much of it is just like women have no responsibility whatsoever, which I think is a shame. Like I'm responsible for my orgasms, and I'll tell you what, I get them every time. Not first time with you though, mind you.
That's true.
Anyway, what's your response to my...
No, I agree. Find your own damn clit. Cosign.
Can we put that in a t-shirt?
Find your own.
It was hiding under a hood.
Oh, it had his little hoodie on.
Okay. I think, you know what, that was fun. That was, you know what, I didn't think we could get through 30 minutes by ourselves.
We could.
You know, who knew?
Are we going to do our green flags or no? We'll just move on. We'll just.
Oh, we can. No, we might as well do green flags. You know what, we'll make this a longer one. That's fine. We were going to do 30-minute ones to keep it short because we didn't know how it would go, but it turns out we can yap.
For that long.
Yes, this is longer since our vows.
Those were very long.
Those were long.
Yeah.
3-day vows.
People had to sit through a lot of that.
People don't bring sleeping camp gear to vows anymore, okay? And it shows. All right, so my first green flag, pretty obvious, but a lot of women don't do this. Women with friends. Hear me out.
Women with friends?
I like women with friends. More people to fuck. I'm kidding. They hate that. But so many times, not always, but you'll sometimes meet a woman who, I don't know if it's how women are raised or this, they feel like their boyfriend should be their whole life.
Oh,
not a lot,
yeah.
And they might have friends or not, but their life becomes, they inject themselves into your life entirely. And by all means, it's good for you to meet my friends, and I like that. And it's good to, you know, it should still be like, you have a rich, fulfilling life.
But I
have a rich, fulfilling life.
Yeah.
And it's funny when they like, and it's great when you're dating a girl, and I'm like, oh, do you want to go do something? She's like, well, no, actually, me and Sandra, and they list some fucking dope-ass plan. I'm like, great. And too often, at least I've found, maybe it's gendered on my perspective, but too many times I've found it's like, they're very much like, oh, I want to be into your life. Your life looks fun. Or you and your friends are doing cool stuff. And I'm like, well, what are you bringing to the table? And
she's like, snacks.
Snacks, if that.
I'm tagging along. I'm bringing snacks.
And it's like, I'll hang with your friends. And it's nice to do that. And I'll see your friends. But it's like, the best part of my day should not be your friends.
Yeah.
And the best part of your day shouldn't be my friends. We should have a good group. And we should coalesce. But it's like, anyway.
I think piggybacking on that, men who have female friends, like, I think that's a very big green flag.
Yeah, and it's crazy how so many people look at it as a negative.
Yeah, it is, because it just shows that you see women as people. And they're like, I just think, what's better than that? What's better than that, guys?
What's better than that? Cheating. No, 100%. I think seeing women as people, I'm almost for it.
I also think couples should travel solo, like travel without each other. Go on trips without each other.
And with your friends.
Yeah, with your friends or whatever.
Well, people, you know what's funny? I like to have this little thought experiment because a lot of women will say what you've said. And they'll say, I like when a guy's a female friend. And then I like to push the limits of their security. And I'll be like, okay, well, can they go get dinner together? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, can they go on a trip together? And then that's when they go, ooh. I go, well, can they have sex in front of you together? No.
I will say,
can they have a kid together? I mean,
your best friend, when I first met you, your best friend is Imogen, a lady.
Please say was. I would like her to feel the
Imogen,
negative.
R.I.P. No, just kidding. Imogen is very much alive and hilarious.
She's the one that first coined me as a worm.
Yeah, and it fits so well. Also, the one to discover that you wear lifts. So
cutting that.
No, you better not. You better not. But and I remember you asking me about that before. Like, oh, would you mind if we had, like, we've had this conversation before about it. And I think originally I would have been like, oh, it would be a little weird if you guys went on a trip together. But that was before you and I had ever been on a trip together. It was like pretty early on, and now. Yeah. I think it would be really nice for you and Imogen to go on a trip together because she's a new mom and she probably needs a rest.
Well, she's not going to get one with me. I'll tell you what, put her to work. But no, exactly. I think it's
But that could just comes with comfort and security.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem is as well where I do get it is like if it's very easy to be secure when you haven't experienced that negative thing. So I think if you were a woman and you have this guy and you're very secure, if you were a woman, if we can dream, and then your boyfriend had this best female friend and she was very attractive and maybe she was some things that you weren't. You know what I mean? Some of the things you're insecure about.
Or if she wasn't nice to you, or like or if your boyfriend you did a lot of work early on making me feel secure, and you modeled that for me really well because it's not something that I really knew how to do. It was interesting for me to learn that men had feelings.
Who knew? The villain of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
So I was like, oh, if I like this, then he might like this too. So yeah, I think it takes a little bit of work to make your partner feel comfortable, but it pays off in spades if you're somebody who wants to be able to
and go out and not have her freaking out and messaging you being like, what are you doing? So two things. The point of the end thing was like, if you let your boyfriend go on a trip and then he cheated on you. And then you found out, like, that's humiliating. And it's like, you're so dumb and everyone will make fun of you. So that's what I mean by it's easy to be secure when that doesn't happen. But I'm going to take a detour and ask, what did I do to make you feel secure?
Well, I think anytime that I felt insecure and I told you about it, you would, instead of being like, I didn't even do anything, which I think would have been that's a
classic response.
Yeah, that would be the response I would expect of like, I didn't even do anything, like where you felt like I was blaming you for my feelings. You didn't do that at all. You said, oh my gosh, thank you so much for communicating that to me. You're so special. Like, I think you're so hot. Like, I love our time together. And then you'd go on and on. It was actually quite embarrassing for you. And then
the crying was probably the worst part of it.
The soiling.
The soiling.
And that just made, I was like, oh, nobody's ever going to want this man. So, no, just kidding. Just kidding.
Because, let me show you how pathetic I am. I'm going to reduce myself to such a shitty level that you have nothing to worry about.
Just like sucking your thumb and pooping your pants.
I goofed.
So yeah, you just went out of your way. You would take a little bit of time and just say, you'd go out of your way and say, I just don't, and just make me feel better, with your words.
With words, who knew?
Yeah.
I'll tell you a few things from that. Number one, I agree, I'm the best man alive. So I think it's probably good that we get that out of the way. Number two, means poop. I do think it's a classic thing, even beyond relationships, but especially in relationships. Everyone makes this mistake, and it was a learning for me that's in life, and I'm glad I've learned this lesson. Especially in relationships, someone comes up to you and go, and you would articulate it well, so it was easier for me, but sometimes people articulate it quite aggressively, and what you're really feeling on the inside is, I'm feeling insecure. That's actually what's important. But what you say is like, are you going to see that girl? And then I could respond to the top level thing, which is surface level, which is not actually it's a symptom, I guess. It's not actually the condition, which is, I'm not going to fuck her. I don't care about her. I'm not doing anything. I've never cheated. I've never done this, or whatever I could respond to. And that's just I'm feeling insecure. I lash out at you. You lash out at me, and now it's a fight.
Now we got a fight on our hands.
And the temptation is like, just hear that thing and just recognize it for what it is, which is, it's not about that. It's about the underneath thing. And then take the time to make them feel better about that. And everything with like that. And sometimes you can tell someone's feeling unattractive. They're feeling unwanted. They're feeling dumb. They're feeling not special. And if you hit that, then you don't have to address. People get caught up in this surface level stuff, which actually isn't the real argument. It's not important. And to your point about the insecurity, but it is hard though, because you're right. People get defensive. Someone says like, "Why are you seeing Imogen again?" or something like that. If you would, and then I'm like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like,
you're like, she's my friend. Are you jealous? And you're like, yeah, of course I'm jealous. Sometimes I'm insecure.
And you know what it reminds me of?
It's like the worst thing to do.
Yell at an insecure person.
It feels like being the worst. Well, yeah, I mean, it is that doesn't make it any better. But it feels like when I feel insecure, it makes me feel like that is like the worst, most ugly feeling. Then like I don't want anybody to know.
Well, it is. I mean, it is a very unattractive. I mean, I wasn't like gross.
Very unattractive.
But it is like, confidence is attractive, and the opposite of confidence is insecurity for the most part. So it definitely is. It feels having to verbalize your insecurity, and that's why people often don't. And instead of saying I'm feeling insecure, they'll say, "You seeing that slut?" or something like that, and because that feels a lot stronger. It feels like a little less like a little bitch, which is why people then get trapped into it. And it's funny watching that, and it reminds me. This is not a relevant analogy. I just think it's funny how whenever the Incredible Hulk turns into the Hulk and starts fighting, everyone has the same idea. They go, "We should keep firing bullets at this man," and they go, "Well, it seems the angrier he gets and the more conflict we create, the bigger and stronger he gets." Everyone's like, "But what if we use even bigger bullets?" And no one ever thinks like, "What if we just be nice to him?"
Yeah. What if we be nice to him?
And that's kind of like that thing.
So
you lash out. You're the Hulk, and you're Bruce Banner at best. You are the decent Hulk, maybe the credible Hulk. Never misses a source, this one. But you lash out, and like the immediate response, you're this level Hulk at that point. You haven't grown into the big, and I just make you bigger and bigger and bigger. Whereas it could just be like, oh, actually, let's take a step back and turn you back into Bruce Banner. And I just think even in work as well, someone gets angry, and you're terrible at this at work.
I'm so bad.
Robin gets a negative feedback thing, and then she hangs up the phone and is like, that fucking, I won't even say it on this podcast.
It's not nice.
She says, that booty head. No, she says cunt. Says it square in their face.
I say it the American way as
well.
well.
Wait, am I allowed to put that on YouTube if I say the C word?
I think so.
Okay, anyway. I was saying aunt, if anyone's listening.
Yes.
But anyway, that's all that. But totally right. I can't remember what got us in that. What was the green flag that got us there? Having friends.
Having friends.
It is so nice, and it's so bad when you meet a woman. And the other thing to compound a woman or a man not having friends, but I do see this more in women, but I only date women, is when they have enemies. When you have someone who's like, oh, I got beef with that guy. I'm like, you got beef with half the city. Like, what kind of, like, when you have ex-friends, I think it's okay to float away from friends and phase them out because you like different things.
He's saying this to his wife who literally has, like, multiple nemesis.
Yeah, but yours are different because, I won't go into that. But those are for political reasons. No, but I mean, you have, like, but I'm talking about when someone's like a best friend, like that was Sasha, and then like the reason is always, it's always like not, it's always some fight.
So dumb. It's so dumb. Where you're like, oh, I wish I hadn't asked.
Yeah, and I feel bad because maybe our friends will listen to this. And there were people who had that, and what I have respected, I have a friend who had a nemesis, and then they got over it, and then they rebuilt the friendship, and that's and it was relatively short.
They went from friends to nemesis to friends.
I don't know if it was full nemesis, but yeah, they had beef with each other. And the thing is,
nemesis is.
But you can sometimes. Also, some of them are valid. So, you should cut people out of your life who are bad.
My two nemesis are listening, I will never be your friend.
Let me say this. If you're listening, pigeon who stole her sandwich, from 2007, your days are numbered. Okay. Do you have any others?
I have one green flag.
Let's do it.
If somebody discloses that they have STIs, that's a green flag.
Oh, boy, do I have some good news for you. You know what's making it come back? Penis plague. It's spitting up black.
Thank you for telling me. It's all the rats that your penis has been hanging out with.
She means snitches.
Not
You're hanging out with that snitch? Okay, a couple of points. Number one, I agree. I think the extension of the reverse of that is when someone's like, oh, it's bad if they don't. Because you're talking about like this is a unexpected green flag, right?
Yeah. Or like if you go on a date with somebody and they're like, hey, I just want to let you know that 6 months ago I tested positive for herpes 2 and I haven't had an outbreak very recently and I just want to let you know. I think that's a big green flag. I
agree. And the flip of that, some people might not like that. What's crazy is, and I do a joke on stage about getting STI tests. And it's so funny because everyone's like, gross. I'm like, oh yeah, I prefer a man untested, just eyeballing it, just going, that's clean.
Taking a guess.
Just a man, which is insane. Although when I was getting my STI tech, I had a really hot phlebotomist, which is a very funny word. That's someone who takes your blood. Phlebotomist is funny but dumb. And I'm sitting there like, how do I ask this girl out? I kind of forgot what I was doing now because as I'm almost about to think about how I'm going to do it, she's like, okay, so we're testing you for chlamydia, syphilis, and I was like, okay, it's probably isn't a good.
Like, you want the HIV one? I can throw that in.
Yeah, she was like, show me that stanky dick.
Yeah, I think because one, it tells you that this is somebody who takes their health seriously, like they get tested.
Yeah.
2, they're communicative, and 3, I think it is very important to destigmatize STIs. In particular, I think it's very important to destigmatize herpes.
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, herpes simplex 2, you were saying that's when they get cold sores. I think
Actually, I don't remember if it's 1 or 2. I just said.
I mean, no, but
I said 2.
Yeah, but either way, I think that we're getting too deep into that one. But that is, they should all be destigmatized certainly, and
yes.
It is because they're not life threatening in this. But it is. You still have a right to be like, okay, I really respect you doing that,
for sure.
but I don't want to risk it. But it's also crazy because a lot of people.
Because what makes me mad, I mean, you have a right to do anything you want when it comes to your sex life. It's just, if that person had not told you, you probably would have slept with them. And you would have the same amount of risk, which is almost 0. And you would never know. But like, I just think it is, 1, it's good to tell. It's like, I think it's right to disclose. And 2, I don't know. It just makes me feel like if somebody did that, I would be like, wow, you're like a really big, mature person. It would make me respect them a lot.
But you can't.
Brave.
But they
so
could.
Brave.
So brave. Did you have any other green flags or hot takes?
No, I only thought of the 3.
Those were good. You know what? I was wrong. I really did. This is lack of faith I have in this relationship. I was like, we're gonna be done in 30 minutes, and we didn't get through a bunch of this stuff. Do I have any others that are decent? No, that was, I did find your damn clit, and I think I stand by that.
Find your own damn clit.
The only other extension I had is an extension of the green flag of women with friends. When a girl doesn't want to hang out with you because they're busy, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, if they don't want to hang out with you ever, because they're always busy.
Yeah, I mean,
then
I don't
that's
like
bad.
you. But every now and then them having something is good. One other, I was going to bring up the story. I might as well. This is just something, that last date I had, talking about great communication.
Let's hear it.
I think
this is a story I have not heard.
Yes. Well, no, it's just I was messaging that girl from the date, and it's very hard as a guy messaging because you don't want to be needy and you don't want to be pushy. That's the main thing I'm afraid of being. And so I messaged her this long message, like not long, but we've been going back and forth, and I was going to segue it to the actual ask out of the date.
Okie dokie. Is it somebody you've been on a date with before?
No dates.
Oh, okay.
And I said, basically, the last message I sent was like, hey, by the way, I'm E&M, whatever. She goes, yeah, I read that, that's fine. And I said, cool, great, I'm glad you're on board. Do you want to catch up Sunday night at this time? I said, there are two fun options. We can grab a drink at this place, or we can do this gaming thing, or whatever you want. And then she says, I guess I can be exact. She goes, I got a friend in town, but those all sound fun. First meets, I like to stay in my neighborhood for safety, which is very reasonable.
Very.
It's a long message. She goes, I'm at this place, this location. And then she says, I know that looks like a no, but it's actually a not this weekend and a not yet. Don't give up on me.
Oh, that's nice. But I do think if she gave you if she told you what neighborhood she was in, that makes it feel like less of a no for sure, right?
Certainly, but I would usually be having to read between those lines.
Yeah.
And I've also seen girls send messages, and they'll be like, oh, why is this guy still hitting on me? And I look at it, I'm like, you're saying things that could very easily, it's not a guaranteed yes, but you're saying things like, oh, my weekend was great, how was yours? I'm like, yeah, you asked a question back.
Yeah.
These are all rudimentary things. But my point is, that was an example of a green flag. Just clear communication.
I do like that.
And recognizing that someone else is going to feel a certain way. Because it's so, to me, it's so obvious. If someone turns me down when I ask them for a date, I expect them, I'm not going to ask you for a second date.
Yeah.
Because that feels weird. I expect them to either say that, or to say, oh, how about Thursday? You know what I mean? But there are some girls, and I find this so funny, and especially like pretty girls. Sorry, a pretty girl is someone who is attracted by community standards. I'll message them and I'll ask for a date, and they'll be like, they're way too cool to text back, especially if they're under 30. They're like, oh, whatever. And then they'll text back and be like, oh, I can't make it. I'm like, okay, so she's not interested, fine.
Yeah.
And then I won't message for like 3 months. And then they'll message me at the blue and be like, so what happened? Literally, like months later, they'll be like, so what's going on?
All right, well, Gen Z is weird. I don't understand their communication styles at all.
It's mostly dabbing, I think. That was us, right? 2 dabs means yes.
2 dab twice for yes.
Did he give you a consent dab?
Yeah, I just think they're very awkward. But yeah, I agree. Open communication is great because there's just so much stress, or there can be so much stress around dating, and there's so many opportunities for miscommunication. So just any opportunity to be clear, I really appreciate it when people take those opportunities.
Yeah, well, it makes everything easier. And it makes it nicer. The problem is those people, I think some of those young people I described, that they think it's uncool, basically. It's not sexy. And to them, very much the expectation is, like, it's kind of playing games. They want the guy to keep asking. They think that's hot. Well, I don't know what it is, but the fact that she gave me that shitty response and then expected more, I'm not even being petty, like, I'm not messaging you back. I was just like, oh, well, I just assumed.
You're like, I just assumed. You had no interest.
Did I tell you the one girl message I said, I thought it was just funny. She said, sometimes what'll happen, and this is a mistake, but I'll get drunk, and it'll be 5 a.m. and all my friends have left and I'm on the subway home. And so I just messaged like 30 people on Tinder. Low hit rate, but also because normally I can't be bothered. And I said, and like sometimes when I would try and write a good one, but I've also been testing out like just saying hey. And hey always does badly, but like I can fire off 30 of them. So I just said hey. She doesn't respond for 4 days and then says, sorry, I missed the 3 a.m. hey. And I thought she was pretty mad. So I didn't respond, and then she sent me a smiley face.
Yeah.
And then I was like, haha, fair enough, not my best work. How's your week going? And then we texted. Then she didn't text me, and then she didn't text for like a week, and then she said, sorry, I'm really terrible. I can give you my WhatsApp, and I haven't responded. I'm kind of on the fence. But anyway, I think that is like an hour that we've done. We hung out for a whole hour. This has been, I know, gross. Yuck. Okay, no cuddling tonight, okay?
We literally never cuddle.
Yeah, well, we have 5 cats in the fucking bed, Robin, okay?
Also, I'm a sweaty person, and I don't like human touch.
You like worm touch. On that note, thank you for joining us on our first ever, I think this was our first ever Just Robin and Julian pod.
Probably.
And we'll be doing more if you like them. And if you don't do them, we probably will keep doing it.
Yeah, tell us if you don't like them. We won't do it anymore.
We'll still do it a little bit.
Say it nicely, though.
Say it nice. We don't like that. Thank you for joining in. We'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.